If your mind feels restless tonight, you do not need to force it to become quiet. You do not need to fight every thought that appears, and you do not need to solve tomorrow before you are allowed to sleep. For a little while, let the day remain outside this quiet moment. Allow the bed to support the weight of your body. Let your hands rest wherever they feel comfortable. Let your breathing continue naturally without measuring it or trying to make it perfect. Tonight, we will rest with the story of Jesus calming the storm. It is a story about a dark night, a small boat, frightened people, and a presence that remained near even when everything around them felt uncertain. Perhaps there is also storm within you tonight. It may not be a storm that anyone else can see. It may be made of unfinished conversations, concern for someone you love, or questions about health, work, money, family, and the future. It may be the quiet pressure of responsibilities that followed you into bed. During the day, you may have been able to keep moving, but now the room is still, and the thoughts seem louder. You are not doing anything wrong. The mind often becomes more active at night because it believes it must remain prepared. It tries to protect you by reviewing the past, imagining different outcomes, and predicting what may happen tomorrow. But you do not need to remain on watch tonight. You are allowed to rest before every answer has arrived. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to place what you cannot control into the care of Christ. The story we are entering does not begin with perfect calm. It begins with uncertainty and a journey across dark water. Jesus does not wait on the shore until the night becomes safe. He enters the boat. He goes with his disciples into the darkness. Tonight, he is not standing far away from the things that trouble you. He is present within this moment. He is near to the questions you cannot answer. He is near to the concern you have carried throughout the day. He is near to the part of you that feels exhausted from trying to remain strong. You do not need to produce a powerful feeling of faith. You do not need to convince yourself that everything will be easy. For now, you may simply remember that you are not alone. Let your shoulders settle naturally. Allow the muscles around your eyes to soften. Let your jaw become loose and let your hands remain still. Nothing is asking you to act in this exact moment. The concern may still exist, but you do not have to carry it during every minute of the night. Let the next breath arrive gently. Let it leave without effort. The storm does not need to stop all at once. You do not need to create the calm by yourself. For now, it is enough to know that Christ is near. He is with you in this quiet room. He is with you before every answer has arrived. He is with you as the day begins to move farther away. You are supported. You are not alone. And you may begin to rest.
The day had been long. Jesus had spent many hours speaking to the people beside the water. Crowds had gathered near him. Some came with questions. Some carried illness, grief, uncertainty, or hope. Others simply wanted to remain close to him for a little while. As evening arrived, the light over the Sea of Galilee began to soften. The voices along the shore slowly became quieter. The movement of the crowd began to settle. The warmth of the day faded, and the first shadows of night appeared across the water. Jesus told his disciples that it was time to cross to the other side. They entered the boat and began to leave the shore behind. Several of the disciples knew this water well. They had spent much of their lives fishing there. They understood boats, wind, waves, and the changing conditions of the lake. At first, the journey may have felt familiar. The boat moved gently away from the land. The voices on the shore became distant. The shapes of the houses grew smaller, and their lights began to fade into the darkness. The water touched the wooden sides of the boat with a soft and regular sound. For a while, nothing seemed unusual. The disciples settled into the journey. They did not know what the night would bring, but Jesus was with them. Perhaps your own day also began with ordinary things. There may have been familiar tasks, familiar places, and people you expected to see. You may have followed the plans that were already waiting for you. And then something changed. A message may have arrived, a concern may have grown, a conversation may have remained unfinished, a plan may have become uncertain, or perhaps nothing dramatic happened. Perhaps your strength simply became smaller as the hours passed. You continued doing what needed to be done. You answered questions, made decisions, cared for other people, and carried your responsibilities. Now you are here, at the end of the day, holding more than you expected. The disciples did not receive a detailed explanation of the journey. They were not shown everything that would happen between one shore and the other. They were simply invited to cross. Much of life unfolds in this way. We are not shown every part of the road before we begin. We do not always know which days will feel peaceful and which days will test our trust. We cannot see every conversation, every decision, or every unexpected change that may be waiting ahead. The mind often tries to protect us from this uncertainty. It searches for details, it imagines different outcomes. It tries to prepare for events that have not happened. But the presence of Christ does not depend on your ability to predict what comes next. He remains near when the shore feels familiar. He remains near when the shore begins to disappear. He remains near when the way ahead cannot yet be clearly seen. Tonight, you do not need to understand the whole journey. You do not need to know exactly how tomorrow will unfold. You do not need to prepare yourself for every possible outcome before you are allowed to rest. There is only this quiet moment. There is only the bed supporting your body. There is only the breath that is already moving gently through you. And there is the quiet knowledge that you are not crossing alone. Let the shore of this day move farther away. You have done what you could with the strength and understanding you had. Some things may remain unfinished. Some questions may still be waiting. Some situations may need your attention tomorrow. But they do not need to be completed inside your mind tonight. Allow the day to become more distant. Let the conversations grow quieter. Let the responsibilities rest outside this moment. Tomorrow will arrive in its own time. The next decision can wait until the next step becomes clear. The disciples did not need to see the other shore before beginning the journey. They only needed to remain in the boat with Jesus. You also do not need to see the whole path tonight. Christ is present in the part of the journey you understand. He is present in the part that remains hidden. He is present as the familiar shore moves behind you.
He is present in the quiet darkness ahead. Let your shoulders become heavier against the bed. Allow your hands to remain still. Let your breathing continue without effort. Nothing is asking you to guide the boat during this moment. You are not responsible for keeping watch over the entire night. Christ is with you. The day may move farther away. The unanswered questions may remain where they are, and you may continue gently toward rest.
As the boat moved farther from the shore, the darkness over the lake gradually deepened. The last traces of evening light disappeared, and the land behind the disciples became a distant shadow. For a while, the journey remained calm. The boat moved steadily through the water. Several of the disciples had spent many years fishing on this lake. They understood the changing wind, the movement of the waves, and the balance of the boat beneath their feet. Then a breeze began to move across the surface. At first, it may not have seemed unusual. The disciples adjusted the sail and continued the journey, doing what experience had taught them to do. But the wind did not pass. It slowly became stronger. The gentle movement of the boat became sharper and less predictable. Small waves grew larger. Water struck the wooden sides with greater force. The disciples changed their positions and worked together. They used their hands, their strength, and everything they understood about the lake. Still, the wind continued to rise. Soon, water began to enter the boat. The disciples had begun the journey believing that they could manage the conditions around them. Now they were discovering that the storm was becoming larger than their experience. There are moments in life when our usual ways of responding are enough. We recognize a problem, we make a plan, we ask for advice and take the next reasonable step. But there are also moments when our usual ways of coping no longer bring the calm we expected. We think carefully, but the answer remains unclear. We prepare for different possibilities, but uncertainty continues. We try to protect the people we love, but some parts of their lives remain beyond our control. Perhaps you have reached one of those limits tonight. You may have already done everything you know to do. You may have carried the same concern throughout the day. You may have reviewed a conversation, considered several decisions, and imagined different outcomes. Still, your mind has not found the certainty it was searching for. You do not need to blame yourself because the concern remains. The disciples were not weak because the storm was strong. They were human beings inside conditions larger than their own strength. Their effort was sincere, but effort could not give them complete control over the lake. You are also human. You are never meant to control every circumstance, predict every outcome, or carry every person you love through every difficulty. Some situations are too large to be held by one tired mind during the night. Some questions cannot be answered by thinking about them for another hour. Some fears do not become smaller through constant attention. They must be released into care greater than your own. Notice whether your body is still responding as though it must manage the storm. Perhaps your shoulders are raised. Perhaps your jaw is tense. Perhaps your hands are not fully relaxed. There is no need to force the tension away. Simply notice it without judgment. Allow the bed to carry more of your weight. Let your shoulders settle naturally. Allow the muscles around your eyes to soften. Let your hands remain still, and let the breath leave your body without effort. The disciples were surrounded by wind and water, but you are here, in this quiet room. The question may concern tomorrow. The tomorrow has not yet arrived. The memory may belong to the past, but the past is not entering this room. Right now,
You are supported. Right now, you are breathing. Nothing is asking you to solve the entire journey. Christ remained near to the disciples before the storm became calm. He was already with them while the water was restless and while they were discovering in the limits of their own strength. He is also near to you before every answer has arrived. He is near while the future remains unclear. He is near while you are tired from trying to remain strong. You do not need to overpower the storm tonight. You do not need to prove that you can control everything. You may allow yourself to be tired. You may place what is too heavy into the care of Christ. The thoughts may not disappear all at once, but you do not need to follow every thought or answer every question. Let the body become heavier against the bed. Let the breath remain natural and unhurried. Christ is near within the uncertainty. He's present before the calm arrives, and you are not alone upon the water.
While the storm continued around the boat, Jesus was sleeping in the stern, resting on a cushion. The wind moved across the lake, waves struck the wooden sides, and water entered the boat as the disciples worked together to keep it steady. Jesus remained asleep. For the disciples, his rest may have been difficult to understand. They could feel the boat rising and falling beneath them. They could hear the wind and see the water gathering near their feet. Their bodies were tense with effort, while Jesus appeared calm. Perhaps they wondered how he could sleep while the situation was becoming more dangerous. Perhaps his quietness felt confusing when they were doing everything they could to remain safe. There are moments when the quietness of God can also feel difficult for us to understand. We pray, but the answer does not arrive as quickly as we hoped. We ask for direction, but the next step remains unclear. We wait for the difficult situation to change, yet the circumstances continue. During these moments, silence can begin to feel like distance. The mind may wonder whether God has heard. It may ask whether he understands how tired we have become. It may mistake the absence of an immediate answer for the absence of care. But Jesus was not absent from the boat. He had not left the disciples alone with the storm. He was closer to them than anyone else could have been. His quietness did not mean that he had stopped caring. His sleep did not mean that the wind and waves had become stronger than his presence. He remained beside them while they were afraid. Tonight there may be an area of your life where God seems quiet. Perhaps you have been waiting for an answer longer than you expected. Perhaps you've prayed about the same concern many times. You may be worried about someone you love who is far away, unwell, struggling, or making choices you cannot control. You may be waiting for clarity about health, work, family, money, or the future. You may have asked for peace, but your thoughts continue returning to the same uncertainty. You do not need to pretend that waiting is easy. You do not need to create a feeling of confidence that is not honestly there. You may simply rest with the knowledge that silence is not the same as abandonment. Christ may be present even when his presence does not feel dramatic. He may be near even when the circumstances have not yet changed. The disciples were watching the waves and measuring the water inside the boat. Their attention was fixed on everything that appeared dangerous. Fear often directs our attention in the same way. It turns the mind toward what might go wrong. It asks us to examine the problem again. It suggests that if we stop thinking, we may overlook something important. Perhaps your attention has also been fixed on the waves tonight. Gently notice where your mind has been looking. There is no need to criticize yourself. Simply allow your attention to return to the room around you.
blanket remains beneath your body. The blanket rests over you. Your breathing continues without needing to be controlled. Nothing is asking you to act in this exact moment. The concern may be real, but you do not have to respond to it during every minute of the night. Christ is not overwhelmed by what overwhelms you. He is not confused about tomorrow. The situation that feels uncertain to you is not outside his knowledge or his care. The disciples could see only the storm around them. They could not yet see the calm that would follow. You may also be unable to see how your situation will change. You may not know what the answer will be or when it will arrive. But not seeing the end does not mean that you are facing the journey alone. Allow your shoulders to settle naturally. Let the muscles around your eyes soften. Let your jaw loosen and let your hands remain still. You do not need to continue working inside your thoughts. The disciples had not yet seen the storm become calm, but Jesus was already beside them. Your circumstances may not yet have changed, but Christ is already near to you. He is near to the tired part of your mind. He is near to the questions that do not yet have answers. He is near to the people you cannot protect through your own strength. You do not need to understand his quietness before you rest. For now, it is enough to know that you have not been left alone in the boat. Christ is near. You are supported. And for this moment, you may rest.
As the storm continued, the disciples reached the limit of their own strength. The wind remained strong, water continued to enter the boat, and everything they knew about the lake no longer seemed enough to make them feel safe. They had adjusted the sail. They had balanced the boat. They had worked together and used all the experience they possessed. But the storm continued. At last, they went to Jesus and woke him. Their words came from fear. They did not offer a carefully prepared prayer. They did not hide their panic or wait until they felt calm. They called to him because they needed help. There is something gentle and honest within this moment. We are allowed to call to Christ before our fear has disappeared. We do not need to wait until our thoughts are organized. We do not need to sound wise, certain, or spiritually strong. A tired prayer is still a prayer. A frightened prayer is still heard. A few honest words can be enough. Tonight, you may also speak to Jesus in a simple way. You do not need to explain every part of what you are carrying. You may quietly name the person, the decision, the fear, or the situation that feels heavy. Let it come to mind without returning to the entire story. You do not need to review everything that has happened. You do not need to imagine every possible ending. Simply place the concern before Christ. You may say quietly within your heart that Jesus sees what you are facing. You may ask him to remain near. You may ask him to hold what you cannot continue holding tonight. There is no need for louder words. There is no need for greater effort. Christ understands what the heart is carrying, even when the heart cannot describe it perfectly. The disciples woke Jesus because they believed that his presence mattered. Even within their fear, they turned toward him. Perhaps that is enough for you tonight. You may not feel fearless. You may not feel completely peaceful. But you can gently turn your attention toward Christ, not toward someone standing far away on the shore, toward the one who is already with you in the boat. Jesus, receive the concern of the person listening now. Receive the fear beneath the thoughts. Receive the tiredness beneath the planning. Receive the love beneath the worry. Bring gentleness to the places that have remained tense for too long. Remind this listener that asking for help is not weakness. Resting is not failure. Releasing control is not the same as giving up. It is the decision to stop carrying alone what was never meant to be carried alone. The disciples had reached the end of what they could do, and at the end of their effort, Christ remained present. You may also come to the end of your effort tonight. You may stop searching for one more solution. You may stop reviewing the same conversation. You may stop trying to prepare for every possible outcome. The concern may still exist, but it does not need to remain entirely within your hands. Allow the bed to support more of your weight. Let your shoulders settle. Let your hands remain still. Allow your breathing to continue naturally. Nothing is asking you to solve the whole situation in this moment. You have carried it long enough for today. You may place it into the care of Christ. He understands the part you can explain. He also understands the part for which you have no words. You do not need to make your prayer perfect. You do not need to repeat it until you feel certain that it has been heard. You have turned toward him. He is near. The disciples called to Jesus from within the storm. They did not wait for the water to become calm. You also do not need to wait until your mind is peaceful before coming to him. You may come tired. You may come uncertain. You may come with only a few quiet words. Christ remains present. He has heard the concern you place before him. You may stop holding it so tightly. You may allow the mind to become quieter. You may wait in his presence without forcing the answer. For this moment, nothing more is required. You have called to him. You are not alone. And you may continue gently toward rest.
Jesus rose in the boat. He looked toward the wind and the restless water. The storm that had filled the disciples with fear did not confuse him. He was not hurried. He was not overwhelmed. He did not need time to understand what was happening. Jesus spoke to the wind and the waves. Peace, be still. His words were simple, but there was no uncertainty within them. The wind began to weaken. The waves became smaller. The violent movement of the boat slowly softened. The water that had seemed impossible to control began to grow quiet. Imagine this change without urgency. The sound of the wind becomes softer. The boat no longer rises so sharply. The disciples feel the water beneath them becoming calmer. Their hands can finally loosen. Their bodies can begin to release the effort they had been holding. They no longer need to fight against the storm. The presence of Christ has entered the fear with peace. Tonight, you may also hear these words gently within your mind. Peace, be still. They are not a command for you to force every thought away. They are not another task you must perform correctly. They are an invitation to stop giving every thought your full attention. A concern may still appear. You do not need to follow it. A question may return. You may place it again into the care of Christ. The mind may continue moving for a little while, but you do not need to move with it. Allow these words to rest gently over your body. Let peace settle over your forehead. Let the muscles around your eyes soften. Let your jaw become loose. Allow your shoulders to rest more heavily against the bed. Let your hands remain open and still. Allow your breathing to continue naturally. Your body may have been preparing for danger even while you were lying safely in this room. It may have remained alert because the mind believed that something still needed to be solved. But nothing is asking you to act in this exact moment. There is nothing you need to escape. There is nothing you need to finish before the next breath arrives. The room is quiet. The bed is supporting you. The night is allowed to become simple again. Jesus, speak peace over the person listening now. Bring quiet to the thoughts that have repeated themselves throughout the day. Bring gentleness to the places that have remained tense for too long. Remind this listener that your presence is greater than the fear they are carrying. Let the inner wind become softer. Let the waves of thought lose their strength. Let the body understand that it may stop working for the day. Peace does not require every circumstance to become perfect. It does not depend on receiving every answer tonight. The situation may remain unfinished, but you are still allowed to rest. Tomorrow may contain uncertainty, but tomorrow is not here. For now, there is only this quiet moment with Christ. You do not need to create the calm by yourself. The disciples could not command the storm through their own strength. They could only turn toward Jesus. You may do the same. You may release the concern without knowing exactly how it will be resolved. You may stop measuring the waves. You may stop watching the horizon. You may stop preparing for every possible outcome. Christ is near. He is not troubled by the darkness. He is not overwhelmed by the future. He is not uncertain about the journey ahead. Let your body become heavier against the bed. Allow the breath to leave slowly. Do not search for the next thought. Let it come or pass without following it. The wind is becoming quiet. The water is becoming still. The boat is resting more gently beneath the disciples, and you may rest more gently too. Peace over your mind. Peace over your body. Peace over what you understand. Peace over what remains uncertain. You do not need to force this peace. You may simply receive it. Christ is near. The storm does not have the final word. And for this moment, you may be still.
After Jesus spoke, the wind began to disappear. The waves became smaller, and the movement of the boat slowly softened. The water that had seemed uncontrollable only moments before became calm. A deep quiet settled over the lake. The disciples had expected another wave. Their bodies were still prepared for danger. Their hands may have remained tight around the boat, even though the storm had already passed. Sometimes peace arrives before the body is ready to receive it. When a person has carried fear for a long time, the mind may continue searching for danger even after the danger is gone. The shoulders may remain tense. The breathing may remain shallow. The thoughts may continue preparing for something that is no longer happening. Perhaps you recognize this feeling tonight. The day may already be over, but part of you is still working. The room may be quiet, but your mind may still be listening for the next problem. There is no need to become frustrated with yourself. Calm can arrive gradually. The disciples needed time to understand that the storm had truly ended. You may also need time to let the night become quiet.
Notice the difference between the concern in your mind and the place where your body is resting now. The thought may be about tomorrow, but your body is here. The question may be about someone far away, but your body is here. The memory may belong to the past, but your body is here. This moment is not asking you to return to the storm. Allow the quiet to become more familiar. Let your shoulders release a little more. Allow the muscles around your eyes to soften. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands remain open and still. The boat is no longer being thrown by the waves. It rests on calm water. Jesus remains with the disciples after the storm. He does not disappear when the danger has passed. His presence remains within the silence that follows. Christ is not only near during moments of fear. He is also near in ordinary quietness. He is present in this room. He is present in the gentle movement of your breathing. He is present in the space between one thought and the next. You do not need to keep fear alive in order to remain close to Him. You may receive calm without waiting for another problem. The night is allowed to become simple again. A quiet room, a resting body, a day that has ended, a future that has not yet arrived. You do not need to inspect the calm. You do not need to ask how long it will remain. You do not need to prepare yourself for the next wave. For this moment, the water is still. Christ is near. The bed is supporting you. Your breathing continues without effort. Let the thoughts become slower. Let the body become heavier. Allow the silence to rest around you. Nothing more is required. The storm has passed. The boat is resting. And you may become still with it.
When the storm had become calm, Jesus spoke to His disciples. He asked why they had been so afraid. His question was not meant to shame them. He knew how strong the wind had been. He knew how small the boat had felt beneath the waves. He had seen their fear and understood their exhaustion. But He was gently inviting them to remember something the storm had caused them to forget. They had never been alone. The waves had captured all of their attention. For a time, the storm had seemed greater than the presence of Christ beside them. Fear often works in the same way. It narrows our attention. It shows us one possible future and makes that future feel certain. It tells us that the worst outcome is already approaching. It suggests that remaining tense will somehow keep us safe. Perhaps fear has been speaking to you tonight. It may be warning you about tomorrow. It may be reminding you of something painful from the past. It may be trying to protect someone you love. It may be asking you to prepare for every possible outcome before you are allowed to sleep. You do not need to become angry with the fearful part of your mind. It has been trying to protect you. But it does not need to remain on watch through the entire night. You may gently thank your mind for trying to help. And then you may release the work into the care of Christ. Fear is not the only presence in the boat. The waves are not the only thing that is real. Christ is also here. He has not lost sight of you. He has not become distracted by the needs of others. He knows your name. He knows the concern that followed you into bed. He understands how tired you have become from thinking about it.
The future may still be uncertain, but uncertainty is not the same as danger. A thought may feel urgent, but it does not always require an answer tonight. You may allow the question to remain unanswered until morning. You may allow the decision to wait until you have rested. You may allow another person's life to remain within the care of God instead of entirely within your own hands. Jesus, help the person listening now to recognize your presence within uncertainty. When fear describes the future as though it has already happened, bring this listener back to the present moment. When the mind tries to prepare for every possibility, remind them that guidance can arrive one step at a time. When they feel responsible for everything and everyone, remind them of the limits of human strength. Give them permission to sleep without believing that sleep is careless. Give them permission to rest without believing that rest must first be earned. You do not need to answer the question perfectly tonight. You do not need to prove that you will never feel afraid again. Simply notice that fear is not alone in this room. Christ is near. The storm has become quiet. The next part of the journey will come in its own time. For now, the boat is resting on calm water. Allow your shoulders to become heavier against the bed. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands remain still. Allow your breathing to continue naturally. There is nothing you need to hold tightly in this moment. You may loosen your grip on the question. You may release the future from your thoughts. You may stop preparing for what has not yet happened. Christ remains near when you understand. He remains near when you are uncertain. He remains near when you feel strong. He remains near when you are tired. The fear may return for a moment. If it does, you do not need to follow it. You may gently return your attention to the quiet room, the bed beneath you, and the presence of Christ beside you. The water is calm. The night is still. You are supported. You are not alone. And you may continue gently toward sleep.
The journey did not end in the middle of the lake. After the storm became calm, the boat continued toward the other side. The disciples still had a destination. There would be more roads to walk, more people to meet, and more things they did not yet understand. But they would continue differently. They had seen that the presence of Christ was greater than the storm. They had discovered that even when their own strength was not enough, they were not alone. Tomorrow, your own journey will also continue. There may still be decisions to make. There may still be work to complete. Some questions may remain unanswered when morning arrives. Rest does not remove every responsibility, but rest allows you to meet responsibility with renewed strength. You do not need to travel tomorrow's distance tonight. You do not need to reach the other side while lying here in bed. The journey will continue when it is time to continue. For now, it is enough to remain on calm water. Perhaps you've been treating this night as though it were your last opportunity to solve the future. Perhaps your mind has been searching for one more answer, one more plan, or one more sign that everything will be all right. But morning will bring another moment, another breath, another opportunity to ask for help, another step that can be taken with Christ. You do not need the strength for the whole journey tonight.
You only need enough grace for the place where you are now. And in this moment, grace may look like rest. It may look like releasing the day. It may look like trusting that God can continue working while you are asleep. The disciples did not need to hold the water beneath the boat. They did not need to keep the stars in the sky. They did not need to create the shore toward which they were traveling. Their task was simply to remain with Christ and continue when the time came. You also do not need to hold everything together tonight. You do not need to protect every person through the power of your thoughts. You do not need to prepare for every possible difficulty. You may allow tomorrow to remain in the care of God. Jesus, prepare what this listener will need when morning comes. Bring wisdom when a decision must be made. Bring patience when an answer must wait. Bring courage when a difficult step becomes necessary. Bring gentleness where the heart has become tired. But do not require this person to receive tomorrow's strength tonight. Let tomorrow's grace remain in tomorrow. For now, bring rest. Allow the thoughts to become softer. Let the questions move farther into the background. Let the body sink more deeply into the bed. The journey will continue, but not yet. There is no need to row. There is no need to watch the horizon. There is no need to measure how far remains. Christ is still in the boat. The water is calm. The next shore will appear in its own time. You may release the need to know what happens next. You may stop searching for the perfect plan. You may allow your hands to remain still. Let your shoulders become heavier. Let your jaw loosen. Allow your breathing to continue naturally. Nothing is asking you to complete tomorrow tonight. Nothing is asking you to remain awake in order to keep the journey safe. Christ remains present while you are awake. He remains present as you begin to drift. He remains present while the night continues without your attention. The unanswered questions may remain unanswered for now. The unfinished work may wait. The people you love remain within the care of God. The boat is moving gently toward the other side. You do not need to direct every part of the journey. For this moment, you may simply rest. Christ is near. The water is still. Morning will come in its own time. And you may sleep before reaching the shore.
The words may become quieter now. There is nothing more you need to understand tonight. You have entered the boat. You have left the shore behind. You have felt the wind begin to rise. You have seen the waves become stronger. You have watched the disciples reach the limit of their own strength. And you have remembered that Jesus remained near through every part of the journey. He was present before the storm began. He was present while the water was restless. He was present when the disciples were afraid. He was present when they called to him. He was present when the wind became quiet. And he remains present now. The lake is calm. The boat is resting gently on the water. The disciples no longer need to struggle against the waves. Their hands can become still. Their breathing can slow. Their bodies can begin to release the fear they carried through the night. You may also release the effort you have been holding. Allow your forehead to become smooth.
Let the muscles around your eyes soften. Let your jaw loosen naturally. Allow your tongue to rest quietly. Let your shoulders sink more deeply into the bed. Let your arms become heavy. Let your hands remain still. There is nothing they need to hold. Allow your chest to rise and fall without effort. Let your stomach soften. Let your legs become heavy. Let your feet rest. You do not need to keep your body prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not here. This moment is quiet. The storm has moved into the distance. Christ remains near. Jesus is not asking you to explain every fear. He is not asking you to become stronger before you sleep. He is not asking you to prove your faith. He is simply present. He knows what has made you tired. He knows the concern that followed you through the day. He knows the person you have been thinking about. He knows the decision you have not yet made. He knows the question that does not yet have an answer. You do not need to repeat it again. You do not need to search for better words. You may place it quietly into His care. Jesus, remain near to the person listening now. Let this room become peaceful. Let every part of this home grow quiet. Watch over the people this listener loves. Hold the situations they cannot control. Bring comfort where there is pain. Bring patience where there is waiting. Bring protection where there is vulnerability. Bring mercy where there is regret. And allow sleep to arrive without pressure. The person listening does not need to chase sleep. They do not need to measure how long it is taking. They do not need to worry about how they will feel tomorrow. Let rest come in its own time. If another thought appears, it may pass without being followed. If another concern returns, it may be placed again into your hands. Nothing needs to be solved now. The boat is quiet. The water is still. The night continues gently around you. Christ is near while you are awake. He's near as your thoughts become slower. He's near as the words begin to sound more distant. He's near when you no longer need to listen. You may stop following every sentence. You may allow the voice to fade into the background. You may release the day. The shore behind you no longer needs your attention. The shore ahead will remain there until morning. For now, you may remain here, supported, known, safe within the presence of Christ. Let peace settle over your mind. Let peace settle over your body. Let peace rest over your home. Let peace surround the people you love. Let peace remain over what you understand. And let peace remain over what is still uncertain. You do not need to create this peace. You may simply receive it. The wind is quiet. The waves are quiet. The boat is resting. Jesus is near. The night is allowed to continue without your attention. You have carried enough for today. You have thought enough for today. You have done what you could. Everything else may wait. Let the body become heavier. Let the breathing remain slow and natural. Let the thoughts become incomplete. There is no need to finish them. There is no need to return to them. Christ remains beside you. You are not alone. You are supported. You may release the final effort of the day. And now, you may sleep.